Hi, my name is Andrew Issam, and today I will be giving a presentation on the fuel economy of cars. To start off, cars are an important part of almost everyone's day-to-day lives. They have a huge impact on the economy and environment. One aspect of cars that affects the environment is their fossil fuel consumption. This is shown by the fuel economy a car gets, also known as its MPG or miles per gallon, which is how many miles a car can travel by burning 1 gallon of fuel. Abstraction is the process of turning real-world entities and phenomena into data. In this project, I abstracted the cars dataset into a list of different make and model years of cars, each with the data relevant to my project. One abstraction is highway MPG, which is an integer value that represents the average miles per gallon of fuel a car can travel on the highway. Make is another abstraction, which is a string value that represents who the car is made by. An example of this is Audi. Number of forward gears is a third abstraction, which is an integer value that represents the number of gears used in forward motion in cars' transmissions. An example of this is 5 gears. The diagram to the right shows the structure of the abstracted dataset, which is made up of a list of dictionaries. The make key is a string value within the identification dictionary in the list of data. The number of forward gears key is a string value in the engine information dictionary in the list of data. This dataset has a number of limitations. One of those is that there's only cars from 2009 to 2012, so both older cars and newer cars are not accounted for. Another is that the dataset only accounts for cars that are stock from the dealership, so modified cars would have different fuel economies and effects on the environment. A third limitation is that the dataset only encompasses cars in the United States, so you can't make claims on a global scale. My first question about this dataset is there a correlation between a car's number of forward gears and the fuel economy a car gets on the highway? I'm interested in this because I want to see how the gear range of a car affects its fuel economy. The visualization to the left shows that cars with 6 forward gears get better miles per gallon on the highway than other transmission with more or less gears, except for one 4-speed transmission, which got over 200 miles per gallon on the highway. With an MPG that high, I can only assume that the car is some sort of hybrid. A second question I had about the cars dataset is what is the frequency of the different number of forward gears in transmissions? This relates to question 1 in that I am interested in seeing if the most fuel efficient transmission is also the most popular with car manufacturers. The visualization to the right shows that transmissions with 6 forward gears in them are the most common of the transmissions, as well as 8-speed transmissions being the least common. This connects with question 1 in that the best fuel economy transmission on the highway, disregarding one outlier, is also the most common. The third question I had about the cars dataset is how has the fuel economy of Audis changed over time? This is important because I am interested in seeing whether or not car manufacturers such as Audi are improving the fuel economy of their car. The visualization to the left shows that from 2009 to 2012, the maximum highway MPG of Audi's cars has increased, as well as the lowest highway MPG in 2012, being higher than the lowest highway MPG in 2009. This means that Audi has increased their fuel economy on both ends of the spectrum. Because of the social impacts of this dataset, there are stakeholders interested in this information. One of those stakeholders is car manufacturers. They produce cars that have to comply with fuel economy and emission standards. Another is consumers. They either will benefit or be harmed financially by the car they choose based on its fuel economy. A third stakeholder is government agencies, such as the Environmental Protection Agency, who makes regulations dealing with cars and their emissions. And a third is car dealerships that have to sell the cars. conflicts that might occur between stakeholders. Some government agencies regulate car manufacturers and what their cars are allowed to produce in terms of emissions. Car dealerships have to convince consumers to buy their cars, and car manufacturers producing more fuel-efficient cars helps car dealerships because consumers are more likely to buy fuel-efficient cars.
That's all, folks. Thanks for watching.